Copper Cable Communications presents a sports exclusive, High School Football 1983. The North Plainfield Canucks versus the Brearley Kenilworth Bears. Hi everyone, I'm Dennis Miller. I'll be calling all the play-by-play for you this afternoon. And working with me, my color commentator, and an excellent one indeed, the head coach of the minor league football team, New Jersey Oaks. And Joe, looks like we have a blustery day again like we had in Plainfield several weeks ago.
Yes, I hope that the wind will die down a little bit so the Canucks can show their passing game. They have a very versatile passing game plus their running game. This team that they're playing are very large. They have a 3-3-1 record, and it doesn't show the quality and the size of their team. I think that this should be a very good game.
We have Mike McSorley, the fine tailback, who is one of the leaders in the county. I'm sure that Bob Newsom and the rest of the defense from the Canucks will have to try to shut him off to have the victory.
Yes, Mr. Newsom is a very versatile defensive and offensive ball player. I think we'll see a lot of running from him, a lot of tackling. He's just phenomenal as a quarterback and a defensive back.
What type of offensive philosophy do the Canucks employ? Of course, we saw them last week using the back out of the backfield, the versatile Gary Mills.
Yes, we saw quite a few passes dropped on him, which would have turned that game completely around. I hope that they went back to the drawing board and changed this so his passing game will supplement his running game today.
Joe, what do you say we get inside out of this cold weather?
Yes, it's making me chilly today. I can hardly even talk.
So High School Football 1983 coming right at you. North Plainfield versus Kenilworth. This is Dennis Miller back with Joe Key here at North Plainfield High School. We're ready for High School Football 1983 action. North Plainfield Canucks have won the toss and elected to receive. They'll be moving on your monitor from right to left, and Brearley Kenilworth High School will be moving from left to right. The colors for North Plainfield they'll be wearing their purple jerseys with white helmets with the purple stripe and the white pants with purple stripes. Looking at Kenilworth, they'll be all white with the blue and orange and black trim. Standing back deep for North Plainfield is Dave Gard, a speedy wide receiver for the Canucks, along with Lou Frusco. And of course, Joe, we have a blustery day like we had a couple weeks ago against Plainfield. What about the wind factor today?
Yeah, the wind factor is going to be a big factor as far as the long pass. I think they're going to have to, if they pass at all, they're going to have to throw short. The wind is blowing from west to east, and it looks like it's blustering up about 30-35 miles an hour.
Number 71, Tony Saragoza will kick off. We're all set to go. Hopefully an exciting ball game for you store viewers. Referee says, let's go, and he approaches the football. It's high and relatively deep, coming down to Gaw just about the goal line. Starts upfield. Finds a hole inside, breaks free. Only one man to beat. Go to the outside. He's moving down the sidelines, and he beats his man just about and is dropped at about the 30-yard line. A tremendous return.
That was a game-saving tackle. He just caught him on his shoe and pulled him down. If he didn't do that, he was gone for the touchdown.
Tony Costa brought him down. He was the last man between him and the goal line.
Right. If he didn't get him by that shoe, that's all he caught him by was by the shoe.
Well, let's watch North Plainfield. They have a diversified attack with Robert Newsom, number 14, the quarterback. Split formation. Frusca and McCumb, the backs. Switch into the I formation. Hand off inside to Frusca. Picks up a couple yards on the play before he's stacked by the interior line.
That was a straight dive over the guard. That was a quick handoff to see how they could push these big men around.
Well, of course, the runner that Newsom is, he tries to set up his outside running and passing with the inside plays.
Right. They had a penalty on that play that moved the ball even further into their territory.
It was a face mask penalty, moving the ball further down into the Bear territory. Ball's on the 14-yard line. I formation for the Canucks. Rolling out to the left side is Newsom. Looking to pass, fires, man is open, he catches, that's Mills. Mills dives to the goal line, touchdown! touchdown for North Plainfield. Again, the back out of the backfield, Joe.
Right, that was the back coming out of the backfield. What they did is the quarterback rolled to the right. He's such a versatile ball player that they didn't know whether he was going to run with the ball. They hesitated a second. The man came out of the backfield, caught the ball, ran another 4 or 5 yards for the touchdown. That was a beautiful
Beautiful play by the Canucks.
Beautiful play.
And 6-0. They draw first blood. We'll see if they can get the extra point. Mike Murray will do the kicking. The kick is up. It's high enough, and it is no good. Outside wide to the left. And so, with just 11:14 to go in the first quarter, the score, North Plainfield 6, the Bears of Kenilworth, nothing.
Again, the wind factor on that kick, grabbed the ball and just floated the ball over. It was a high ball where the wind could catch it and just drifted over to the side.
We really can't get a read on how the wind is out there. It dies down, then it picks up, it's moving from right to left, it's spinning in all different directions.
It's gusting very, very frequently.
And so Gary Mills, the all-purpose back, will be doing the kicking. He's quite an athlete. Number 44, Mike McSorley, one of the leading scorers in the county, is back deep in triple safety. And so, with dramatic suddenness here, the Canucks have struck quickly. That tremendous kickoff return by Gaw, he showed us a lot of speed, and of course that pass coming out of the backfield to Mills.
Right, that run gave them momentum, and it's a tremendous thing to get a kickoff return like that.
Mills sets his special teams, everybody's set, waiting for the referee, approaches the football. Kick is high and relatively deep once again, coming down at about the 5-yard line. McSorley has the football, driving inside, and he is brought down.
Oh, that was very good coverage on that.
Chris Schreier was in there, number 34 on the hit. And the Bears will take over on about the 25-yard line.
North Plainfield looks very inspired for this game.
The quarterback, Pat Hogan, number 11 for the Bears, who are 3 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie.
Basically, this North Plainfield team has been getting better as the season's been progressing.
I look into the huddle, and we have a change of quarterback. All of a sudden, Kenneth Skokel, number 10, is at quarterback. And he has a split backfield. First play. Handoff inside, busting through, picking up valuable yardage.
Right, that was
number 40.
That's
slant. Dennis Miller, namesake of mine.
Right, that sounds like you, Dennis. For a minute, I thought you were out on the field.
That was a while back, but Dennis picks up a good game. The offensive surge brought him to a good game.
Right, that was a quick slant. They slanted over guard and ran over toward the tackle position. That was a good play.
And so Sokol has third and relatively short, has the defense guessing. Split backfield. McSorley and Miller are the deep backs. Sets his line down, movement on North Plainfield, no flags. Handoff inside once again.
Right.
Piled up. That was a fumble after the play.
That was a straight
Looked like
dive.
McSorley that time.
Right, that was a straight dive over the guard. They did not move the two middle men, and that play will not work if you don't get the 2 middle men out of the hole.
So it seems like early the Bears are moving to the interior line, trying to go at the North Plainfield strength.
Right, and the way the 2 inside tackles are playing, they're inspired.
So 3rd and short for the Bears. Let's see if it's a passing situation or a run. Teams are lined up and set. And the quarterback's Sokol keeps the ball. He's hit hard and violent.
That was a violent
Didn't make the
tackle.
first down. That was Fresco, Lou Fresco on the hit, the fullback, playing linebacker on defense.
Boy, that was some hit. That was a beautiful hit. The man's...
He's hurt on the play.
He's hurt. It looks like he's got the wind knocked out of him. It was a tremendous tackle.
Well, Joe, you're a head coach. That's exactly the way you teach your boys to hit. Square up on the shoulder pads with the helmet and shoulder.
Right. You cannot hit a ball player better than that, because he hit him right at the waist, drove his shoulder into him, and he tackled him right there. I think the wind is knocked out of him. He hit him so hard.
They're going to bring the chains in here, but that was the offensive philosophy was good on that, because they set that outside run up with those 2 inside ones.
Right.
But of course the linebackers are wise to the call.
I think the North Plainfield 2 inside men are playing a tremendous game. They cannot move them off the line of scrimmage, and if they don't do that, they're going to have to run to the outside like they just did.
Well, as Armando, we can see, you viewers at home can see, probably the young man's wind was knocked out of it with that violent hit. That was Skokel. So, of course, we'll see the quarterback, Pat Hogan, that I had said originally at starting the ball game, should be in there at quarterback. But 24, Tony Costa throws me a curveball again. They have another quarterback in there. He takes a keeper play, pulls ahead for 2 yards. He made a first down on that play, by the way. I thought it was for it. I thought that hit was good enough to stop him, but it wasn't. So he gained 2 yards on the play, and they're moving again to the inside again, Joe.
Right. It looks to me that what they're trying to do is they're trying to run to the inside, run into the inside, so the linebackers will concentrate on the inside, and then they're going to go to the outside.
Man split out on the wing. Second down play. Sokol has the football again. Hands off. The man is dropped.
That was a red dog by the inside linebacker.
That was McSorley.
Right. He diagnosed the play, and he caught him for a loss.
So Sokol, of course, is all right again. He's back in the attack, and Costa moved out on the wing. We have 8-10, 8-9, and counting down in the first quarter. 6-0 North Plainfield on top. Store Cable bringing you all of the action. Hope you're enjoying this exciting football game. Kenworth sets the team down. Goes back to pass, looks, fires deep. Man is out there, has the football, and he's dropped. That's Costa. Costa moved to the outside again, shows us some versatility.
Right, that pass was right on the money. It was about 30 yards down the field. It was a post pattern. Man went downfield and cut right across the middle of the field and caught the ball right on the nose.
And so, of course, Sokol showed us some good power in that arm. It was a nice tight spiral.
Right. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to hit these wide receivers to stop the momentum running downfield.
And so 1st and 10 as the Bears are moving the football down the field. Ken Sokol is the quarterback. Split backfield. Tight formation on the line. Hand off inside to Miller. Miller picks up about 2 on the play.
Right. That was a straight dive over the middle. Again, they're trying to run that middle.
Bill the Husky on the tackle, number
like
73.
This Kenilworth team has a very versatile offense.
Yes, they do.
They're
Tight huddle of the Bears as they huddle up 10 yards back from the football.
North Plainfield's going to have to stop
34-yard line.
this drive on this series.
Again, Costa split out wide to the right. 2 men in the backfield, Miller and McSorley. Fumble. And North Plainfield recovers. That was a fumble by Miller, I believe, on the play. And, of course, he didn't have the football. That was a bad handoff from the quarterback.
Right. The handoff hit the back in the side of the and he dropped the ball. The back never got the ball under control.
And, of course, for the defense, that was good alertness as they came up with the football. And so North Plainfield stops the drive and takes over on the 35-yard line. 6:43 to go in the first quarter. I formation, handoff back to McComb. McComb drives ahead for about 4. Mark Phillips in on the hit.
It looks like North Plainfield's moving those big men off the line.
Both teams moving relatively well on the ground so far. 2nd and 5 for the Canucks. Dave Gaw, the tremendous wide receiver, split out wide to the left. Newsom has the football, turns upfield, and picks up good yardage. Almost the first down.
Almost the first down.
Newsom has some very quick feet, Joe.
Right. With Newsom, you do not know whether he's going to run with the ball or pass with the ball. That's a tremendous quarterback that has the defense thinking at all times.
And, of course, he plays linebacker on defense. He's out on the field for the entire ball game. You have to be in shape.
Oh, you have to be in shape.
And so I formation for the Canucks. Third down. Handoff to Mills. Mills did not pick it up, I don't think. The whole center of that forward wall knocked him down.
They were waiting for him on that play. All they did is pinch into the inside, and they stopped that run.
John Krakowski was in on a hit, a big hit, stopping that first down, setting up a fourth down. We'll see what happens as a timeout is called. At least that's what the referee signaled a timeout, as North Plainfield broke the huddle. And then Mills goes back as a punter for North Plainfield.
He's going to be kicking into the
And
wind.
Costa is the deep back for Brearley, or Kenilworth. Short kick coming down on about the 20-yard line, picking up by McSorley. Costa has the football, slips and falls on that turf, which has been raining quite frequently during the week, and it could have an effect on this game with the footing.
Actually, it wasn't a bad kick because he kicked into the wind. It wasn't a high kick, but it rolled. Once it hit the ground, it rolled. And he got another 10 yards on the roll.
And so after that first surge by North Plainfield, the defense has taken over in this first quarter, Joe, from both sides.
Right. It looks as if the defense is going to play this ball game. They were a little hesitant in the beginning. They were not making the right moves, but now they are.
So Kenny Sokol at the quarterback for the Bears of Kenilworth. Split backfield once again. Handoff, looks to be a fumble again. Let's see what happens. A fumble on the play, and North Plainfield recovers once again. That was Mike McSorley, the great halfback, took the ball inside and was hit hard by the defensive line.
Right. On that play, the defensive line took the charge. The offense didn't hold them in. They went into the backfield, and before the back could get started, they nailed them.
And so this turnover could provide good field position. It does for North Plainfield as they set the ball down on the 25-yard line. Newsom has the ball, rolls out the right, looks for a receiver. Now he takes the ball, goes for himself. And he's hit hard and dropped.
Right.
Dropped down at about the 10-yard line, 15-yard line.
That's what I'm saying. That Newsom is such a tremendous athlete that every time he carries the ball, you do not know whether he's going to pass the ball or run with the ball. You have to start keying on his run, and then they'll have to start to pass.
Well, that first series, he rolled out to the left and he hit his man for the score, Mills. This time, the defense was looking for that pass, and he took it himself up the gut.
Right, right.
So first down for the Canucks, deep inside the Bear territory of Kenilworth. Pitch out to McComb. McComb trying to turn the corner, and he's pulled down.
Right, that was a tremendous defensive play by the cornerback. He came up, he didn't let him make the corner, and he stopped him.
And of course, Tony Segoza was at number 71. Big 71 was in on the hit.
Right. The cornerbacks, when they see that pitch, that's the main object for them to do, is to come up and stop them, the halfbacks, from making the corner. Once they make the corner, then they get yardage. You must stop them from making that corner.
Second and long. Can we look for a pass, Joe?
I would.
Newsom has the football, looks to take it himself, finds the corner, drives ahead, and is pulled down inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, that was a tremendous second effort that he had. He got hit, and he
Tony Costa, number 24, made the hit.
Right, he got hit, and he kept driving. He got another 3 yards after he got hit.
And so Newsom again showing us his speed as he moves the Canucks deep inside the Bear territory. Third and about 3 for the Canucks. Let's see what happens. And a timeout is called by the referee. Looks like an equipment adjustment by Costa. And now we're set to go again. Key play early in the ball game. Rolling right is Newsom, looking to pass.
Oh, look at 75.
And he fires a football, and it hits the turf. Someone had a hand on it for the defense, intended for goal.
Somebody put their hand up, touched the ball, and deflected it. Right?
So that sets up a fourth down. We'll see if they go to the field goal or if they'll try to knock it in again with the pass.
Well, if it was me, I would try it, because even if they do not make it, you got them in good field position.
Newsom just called a timeout for the Canucks and goes to the sidelines for some consultation with his coach, Bob Abada.
Right, they have nothing to lose by trying to go in now. If they don't make it, they put Kenilworth in a hole. And they have to come out of the hole. There's not much you can do way down inside that territory.
Of course, if they do make it, they take a commanding 12 or 13-point lead.
Right.
The conference record of North Plainfield is 1-3-1, overall record 1-5-1, but it could be very deceiving as of the last 3 weeks. They won a ball game and tied a ball game.
Right. We saw the last game that North Plainfield played, Middlesex, and they played inspired ball, and they played a heck of a good game. It looks like it's a runoff to this game. They're getting more inspired, and they know that they can win.
Well, of course, Big Mike McDade, the captain, number 76, blocked the extra point attempt last week to preserve the tie.
Right.
Looking down on the sidelines, a close look at Coach Abada and Newsom, trying to get this key fourth down play.
Well, that's the main thing. If you haven't got the right personnel in there when the play is called, you must call a timeout to make sure. If you're hesitant about what to play, you must call a timeout because this is a very important play.
Well, Newsom has the plays back in the huddle, as you can see, and we'll see what happens. Gaw split out wide to the right. Mills in the slot. I formation with McComb to tailback. Now he's in motion. Newsom takes the football, fires outside, and knocked away at the last second.
Right. That was a great effort by the defensive back.
Tony Costa was in there that time and knocked it down.
Yes, the man was open for a split second. The defensive back went up, and he just saw the ball in time, and he deflected it.
Well, it was a good play with the man in motion, trying to hit him on the corner.
Right.
And so that'll set up the Kenilworth Bears deep in their own territory. They're huddled up in the end zone on their own 4-yard line with 2:44
Right.
left in the
Kenilworth
first
has
quarter.
to watch out for a safety, that the quarterback cannot roll too far back, because if he gets tackled in the end zone, it's a safety.
Sokol hands off to his back
Right.
and is driven down.
Right. There was no hole whatsoever.
That was Miller, Dennis Miller on the play. Couldn't go anywhere. So the middle of the line is surging in, trying to hold them deep, force a punt, and get good field position once again, Joe.
Right. If they hold them here and they make them punt, the Canucks will have tremendous field position.
So the Bears break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. 2 wide outs to the right side. Costa's out there. Miller and McSorley, the deep backs. Fumbles the football,
Okay.
McSorley again. Let's see what happens. Looked like the Bears recovered. Unbelievable.
What happened there, the quarterback thought it was an inside play. The back ran to the outside. He handed the ball, and again he hit him in the side.
That would have been very disastrous, to say the least. I thought North Plainfield had it for just a second, Joe.
I think the communication in that huddle is a little off.
3 or 4 times already in the ball game fumbles. Now it's a key third down play deep in their own territory. Sokol has the football. Pitch out a quick kick by Costa. Good play indeed.
That was a pretty good play. They weren't expecting it. They cannot make a run back with that because the defensive backs were up tight, and it was a good call.
You don't see that too much these days, Joe.
No. You have to have a back that can kick up back there too.
So the 27-yard line again, good field position for the Canucks.
Right. Again, the Kenilworth team is got their backs to the wall again.
So let's see if the Canucks can bounce one in once again. They were thwarted the last time. I formation, McComb the deep back. Play action pass. Man is out there. Too long. That was Dave
A
Gaw.
little bit too deep. He was open though.
Miller was covering. Gaw had his man beat, but it was over his head.
Right. That was a good call on first down because they weren't expecting it. They figured they're going to run. They've run in the last 3 times that they had possession on first down, so they never expected that ball to be thrown.
That's an old Bart Starr way Tittle played.
Right. You have to do the unexpected.
1:04 to go in the quarter. 6-0 North Plainfield over Kenilworth or Brearley. Take your pick. Good tight shot of the North Plainfield huddle. Second down and 10. Man in motion. Rolling out to Newsom, firing again, way over his head to Goff. And of course, Tony Costa out there. Goff is a marked man out there.
Right. What he's going to have to do is he's going to have to start throwing short.
He's forcing the ball too much.
Right. He's rolling out and he's forcing the ball downfield. He's going to have to throw short to bring up these defensive backs up.
Well, he must have forgot about those underneath passes to his backs, which worked before.
Right. In the last game, that's all he had was the backs coming out of the backfield, and he had good success.
58 seconds
He's going to have to go back to that same short pass again.
And so Mills has the football. He's going to throw a pass. He fires long. Goff is out there. He had it and dropped it. Looked like he was stripped at the last minute by Miller.
Right. He had it in his hands. The defender grabbed him by the arms and pulled it away from the ball.
So 3 long passes. What about that philosophy that time, Joe?
No, I still think he should go back to his original short passing to bring those defensive backs up. Once he starts bringing the defensive backs up, then he can throw deep.
So deep inside Kenilworth territory, they still may go here. And they do on 4th down. Why not? Should go to the air again. He went 3 times in a row. Rolls out to the right this time, Newsom does. Looks for a man to fire. Fires deep again. And interference on the play. Miller tripped on him.
What happened is that defensive back ran up his back. He stepped on his back of his heels, and you cannot do that. That's interference.
Well, a little luck that time you have to have sometimes, because the ball again was overthrown.
Right. He had no way in the world would he have caught that ball.
Of course,
that's a mistake. You can't have a turnover like that.
Gore is beating Miller at will out there, though.
Right. But what I said before, he's going to have to start throwing short, bring up those defensive backs, and then throw to the deep man. Because what's happening, they're just going back as soon as the receivers go out.
So again, in high school football, interference doesn't start at the spot. It starts right at the line of scrimmage.
Right. They get the penalty from the line of scrimmage. In pro ball, it's from the point of infraction.
So the 15-yard line are the Canucks. Deep inside Bear territory with 46 seconds to go in the first quarter. Pitch out to McComb. McComb looks to turn the corner. He does turn the corner and drives upfield for about 6.
Right. That was a good play by the tackle pulling. He got the corner man out, and the back just cut right behind his offensive tackle.
Big John Kriowski in on the hit. Be 2nd and 5 for the Canucks. Let's see if they can take advantage of that penalty and put the ball in the end zone.
That was a good first down yardage.
Blustery day here at North Plainfield. Newsom gives to Mills. It's a reverse to Gore. Gore, nice block out there. Gore has the football. Looks like it might be a clip, though. He goes in for the score, but there's a penalty flag back there. Looks like a clip on the play.
Might be a clip.
That was set up beautiful, though.
Yes.
I don't really think that he needed to block that man at the time because Gore had the position.
Yeah, once the running back gets ahead of your blocker, you should not throw a block. What you have to do is, if a running back gets ahead of you, all you have to do is run downfield and get ahead of him.
So that sets North Plainfield way back, and of course, the big thing that hurts it was a touchdown. Back on the 35-yard line. Second and 20 with 4 seconds to go in the quarter.
Right. That was a very good play because the pursuit, they were looking at the first back. The pursuit was there. They all shifted to go for the first running back, and when he handed it off coming around, there was nobody there but one man.
2nd down and 20 for the Canucks. Shotgun goes Newsom. Newsom with the football.
We saw
goes
this
out
last
to his right. Yes, he is being pinched in by the defense. Gets around, tucks it up, and goes upfield. Good yardage. And almost picks the first down up.
Right.
There was some speed on that play.
That's right. Now
they flushed him, though.
Right. That's what happens when you have a very good quarterback that can run on you.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter here at North Plainfield with the score. North Plainfield Canucks 6. The Brearley Bears of Kenilworth, nothing as yet.
This is turning out to be a very exciting game.
Yes, it is.
We've seen a lot of offense, a lot of different formations, a lot of different plays.
Well, of course, the Brearley Bears of Kenilworth's overall record is 3-3-1. Their conference play in the Mountain Conference, the Valley Division, is 2-2. Last week, they were defeated by a very tough Immaculata, who is a very physical football team.
They are a very good team.
Before that, they won 3 games in a row, and they're very strong and very big up front.
Right. This is one of the biggest offense and defensive teams I've seen in a long time. They must average about 230.
Yes, they do. And second quarter action is just about to begin here. Blustery afternoon here at North Plainfield. Dennis Miller, along with Joe Key, the head coach of the New Jersey Oaks, calling all the action for you. Store Cable Communications proud to present this sports exclusive. About 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 for the Canucks of North Plainfield, I formation. Rolling out to the left side is Newsom. Stops and fires. Man has it. Beautiful pass. I can see who it was. That looked like Kreisen. Jim Kreisen, the end, made a nice catch on that one.
Right. The pass was thrown right on the money. No way in the world could he have dropped that ball.
So those intermediate passes are the ticket to success, Joe.
Right. What happened is that at that time Newsom rolled out to the left. He stopped. He set himself. The line gave him plenty of time, and he threw the ball.
First down for Canucks. Newsom keeps it himself and drives ahead for about 2. Number 75, big number 75. John Rubinetti made the hit.
Right. It looks to me like the offensive line of the Canucks are wearing down these big men.
Which should be the other way around.
Right. You know what it is? They're running to the outside, and these big linemen are pursuing, and what they're doing is play after play. They're running to the right. They're running to the left.
They have them huffing and puffing a bit.
They're huffing and puffing.
That's a first down. So 1st and goal for the Canucks. Let's see if they can take advantage of this situation, as they did early in the ball game. Newsom, a talented quarterback, sets his line down. Has the football himself, pitches out, fumble on the play. Bad play that time, and the Bears recovered again. They were thwarted again.
Right. He should have never pitched that ball.
That was Costa had the ball.
Right.
Number 60, I should say.
Right. He should have never pitched that ball, because what happened is the man had him in his grasp. He couldn't pitch the ball evenly. He half-heartedly pitched the ball, and the ball was dropped on the ground.
Lou Passarella, number 60, recovered the football.
Again, the Kenilworth team is in their own territory, and their back's against the wall again.
Well, if they keep them there the whole game, of course they'll win 6-0. Well, we'll see. Sokoley, quarterback, looking right and left. Quick pass over the middle, and no good.
Right. That was
32, Nick Chango.
That was just a quick pass over the middle. What they did is the center centered the ball. He just took it and threw it right over the middle.
A lot of times at them slantings, you can break loose because everybody's pinching in close to the goal line. You can take it a long way.
Right. The ball was just thrown a little bit too high for the tight end to get.
The 2nd and 10 for the Bears. We have 2 wideouts to the right. Costa's one of them in the slot. Sokol has the football, being hit hard. Again, McSorley has the football, goes nowhere, might possibly a loss on the play.
Right. On that play, you know who made that play? That was Newsom. Newsom came in, right? He forced the play. The man had to run to the outside instead of to the inside, and he was tackled by the pursuing defense. And that was a great play by the quarterback on defense.
You don't have to make the tackle all the time to make the play.
Right. That was a tremendous play.
3rd and long.
Again, we see Newsom is an outstanding ball player.
Yes, he is.
Both offensively and defensively.
So now we have 2 wideouts coming to the left. Timeout. A flag on the play. Could be too much time. Looks to be too much time out there. Half the distance, which is about a foot, because they're right on the goal line anyway.
That put them even further in their
How
territory.
far can you go?
Again, you have to watch out for that safety.
Now, what would you be doing on defense now with third down?
Oh, I'd be coming with everybody. I'd be coming with the linebackers. They have twins on the left side here, but you have to give them time to throw the ball.
Sokol has a split formation. Let's watch the fumble. It's been happening so far in the ballgame. Goes back to pass. Dangerous situation.
Whoa.
Man is out there, though. Intercepted! That's intercepted, of course, by Newsom. Purpose back. He goes in for the score.
That was a tremendous play by the linebackers. The linebackers did come. What happened is the linebackers came. He went to throw the ball. As he went to throw the ball, he got hit. The ball, instead of being thrown downfield, was thrown up in the air. Newsom was right there, as always. Caught the ball, ran it in.
Well, if our cameras can pick up the injured quarterback back there, he's laying in the end zone. Took a tremendous hit, which forced the errant pass and, of course, the interception by an alert defense. Of course, that was a dangerous play to call that time deep in your territory.
What they should have done is they should have just tried to get some running room. They should have run straight dives and then punted out of the end zone.
And so the score rises to 12 points for the Canucks, and nothing is yet for the Bears of Kenilworth.
The coaching job on that was superb. They had the linebackers coming because they had nothing to lose. They knew he had to have time. He had no room back there to run, and that's the result, a touchdown for the defense.
Well, let's see if they go to the kick for the extra point or elect to run it in. We can't get a gauge too much on the wind. I could look out on the highway. The flags are just bouncing in all different directions out there on a Toyota dealership, if I can give them a plug. And it's really it's hard to say which way the wind is going, Joe.
Right. It's gusting. It's gusting west to east. It's going north to south. You really don't. You can't.
Now, if you were the coach, would you go for the kick or would you try to punch it in?
Well, right now the wind is blowing west to east. They should go for the sure point because their kicker can kick. We saw him last.
Yes, he can.
Yeah, we saw him last week warming up, and he was kicking quite good.
So that's the second time that the quarterback Sokol had his bell rung.
Right. And again, it's the linebackers who are doing it. The linebackers are coming, right? I think the linebackers for North Plainfield are more physical than Kenilworth. They're quicker, and they're ball hawks.
9:43 to go as we look at our scoreboard. 12-0 North Plainfield. And we're just about set to go with action. And so the extra point is they elect to go to the run or pass, Joe.
Yes, it
They
looks
fool
like
us
they're
a
going
bit.
for the 2 points.
Newsom with the I formation. Rolls out, looks to fire, hits
Okay.
his man Mills for the extra point. Beautiful, beautiful pass that time.
Right.
Of course, Mills just went out, turned over the goal line, and caught the football.
Right.
2 points.
What they're going to have to do is the next series is throw to those backs coming out of the backfield, North Plainfield, and they can put this game out of reach.
And so the score rises to 14 points for the Canucks, and nothing is yet for the Bears. What do the Bears have to do to get in the ball game other than get better field position?
Well, if they
Turnovers are hurting too.
The turnovers are hurting them. What they're doing is twice on the fumbles, the quarterback was handing inside and the backs were running to the outside, and what he was doing, he was hitting him in the side. I mean, they have to go to the drawing board and find out why this is happening.
Well, Mike McSorley is the deep back as Dennis Miller goes back with him in a 3-safety backfield for the Bears. And Gary Mills, who caught that extra 2-point conversion, the all-purpose back, is ready to kick off.
I see we have a nice crowd, but it looked like that last night game was a much better crowd.
Well, of course, the cold weather don't help. It's
No.
about 40 degrees. And moving with the football is Darren King.
Yeah, that was a nice open field tackle that we had on the Canucks.
Well, if anything, they have better field position now, Joe.
Yeah, well,
Ball is up about the 26-yard line.
I hope they straightened out that handoff. Now they're passing against the wind. The wind's really ripping up now.
Well, it seems like Sokol's making a handoff after the back is passing it.
Right. What I think is happening, he's looking for the back to come inside, and the back is going outside, and he's trying to reach him without moving toward him.
Tony Costa is in at quarterback. Hands the ball off and pounded down. That's Dennis Miller, the big fullback, on the run.
Again, that looked like a broken play in the backfield. It didn't look like that.
It was slow moving, yes.
Right. That back didn't. It didn't look to me that he knew where he was running.
9 minutes remaining in the half.
And so Dennis Miller, my namesake, getting a little equipment adjustment down on the field.
And they're going to have to adjust that offense because these linebackers on the Canucks are really, really coming now. I mean, they're ball hawks. They look even better than they did last week.
Yes, they do. They're being aggressive. They're going to the ball. And that's creating the turnovers and creating the points. Pressure's the key to any defense, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Number 48, Darren King, in the lineup. And he's in there with Mick Sorley. So Costa again, back in at quarterback. Sokol took the hit before and is hurting. Hands off inside. A fumble again!
Again.
North Plainfield says they have it. Let's wait for the preliminary indication.
What happened there is the quarterback handed the ball up around his chest. He never put it into his stomach where he's supposed to.
And McSorley again having a bad day.
Right.
He's coughed it off 3 or 4 times.
Right. What he's doing is on that play, he hit the man up above his waist, hit him in the shoulder pads, and the back had to control the ball and pull it down. They were lucky on that play that they recovered it.
I'd have to say if you were the coach at halftime, you'd be running some handoffs instead of going in the locker room.
Oh, I'm telling you.
So third down for the Bears. I thought it was another fumble, but it was just slow moving. And Costa just took it up the gut, and that was it.
For some reason, it looks like the quarterback is unsure.
Well, of course, he's not the regular quarterback. Sokol, of course, is the regular quarterback. He was in there. He's been hurt. And Costa did run 1 or 2 series before when he was hurt, and he's really the wide receiver, but he does play second-string quarterback, so he's not really ready to do the job.
Yeah, I'm with these aggressive linemen and linebackers. I think that's really putting him on edge.
Scott Calency is back in punt formation for the Bears. Gaw and Frusco are the deep backs. Pressure. Look like 2 flags on the play. And Mills has the football, the up back. And he's thrown to the earth violently. For number 71, Tony Saragoza, who's playing a good game for the losing team at the moment.
Yes, he's a very huge lineman. He's aggressive. But this Canuck team, I tell you, they look really aggressive today.
Well, let's see what the call is. McDade is discussing the call. The band playing in the background, North Plainfield Canuck band. Penalty against the Bears backs them up. Looked like movement. Illegal procedure. Pushes them back 5 yards, and they'll have to do it over.
Well, that's not a bad call to have them kick back into the wind. He may get a bad kick.
Costa has a football. Big rush. Gets the ball up. Good kick. Driving Frusco back on his own 30-yard line. And he starts upfield. Breaks to the outside. Some room. And he's pulled down.
Right. That was a real good run back on that. They had a tremendous block over there to spring him loose. And he got about 15 yards because of that great block downfield.
Art Wright brought him down. And so the Bears, unable to do anything in the first half, have the North Plainfield Canucks coming back at their throats once again. 6:44 and counting down in the first half. 14-0.
They're controlling this ball, and that's what you need to win the ball game.
Hand off inside of Frusco, and he moves the whole pile ahead about 4 yards.
Right. For some reason, like I say, I think that the Canucks are tiring these big linemen out because there's no drive in there anymore. In the first quarter, they were coming across the line. Now they're just sitting there.
Well, now's the time to really dominate the game if they put another score in.
If they put another score, it's almost...
Katie bar the door the way that the Bears are playing so far. Using a ball control offense here. Pitch out to McComb. McComb swinging the left side. And he's pulled down after a short gain.
Right. That was a good play by the linebackers. The linebackers read that. They came across, and they made the tackle.
That was Mark Phillips and Chris Davion on the hit for the Bears. And so third down for North Plainfield. We'll see what happens. Newsom looking right and left. I formation. Rolling out to the right side is Newsom, looking for Gaw. Now he takes the ball, moves downfield, and looks to pick up the first down.
Right, he stepped out of bounds. Right, he couldn't control himself to stay in, and he ran out of bounds. Again, this Newsom will run on you in a minute. It looked like it was a pass play, but he saw daylight, and he just took it, which is a good quarterback.
Number 75, John Rubinetti, is 295 pounds. He looks like an awesome specimen out in the football field, Joe.
Right. It's pretty tough to try to get him out of the hole.
Newsom hands the Mills inside. Looked to be a crossbuck on the play, coming back against the flow. Not too much yardage.
No, the linebackers had that diagnosed pretty good, and they were sitting in the hole after they trapped the inside man. But again, on this Kenilworth team, that number 75, you cannot run off tackle on them, so what they're doing is they're running to the outside of them.
And so Newsom has his team on the move. McComb drives inside. And again, the middle of the line with a flag being thrown. That's that big man again, number 75.
What happened then, the defense pinched inside, and there was no hole whatsoever. You cannot move these big men.
It looked to be a holding penalty. That's the indication that the Bears are giving holding. We'll see what happens. That was holding. That'll step him back. And may take the momentum away from the Canucks. It's hard to hold on a run there. How would a man hold on a run? You know.
Well, what happens is maybe the defensive lineman is the offensive man is supposed to block him. He starts to slide off. He doesn't get a good block on him. Rather than let him go, he'll grab him and take a chance of getting caught. And he got caught.
Second and long, players moving around the field. Looks to be some mix-up, but of course they go to shotgun. Newsom has the football, looking for Gaw, over his head once again, and a flag. Let's see if it's on Miller.
Good. You know, you're not supposed to hit that back coming out of the backfield or the wide receiver until the ball is there. You cannot touch him until the ball is there. If the ball gets there at the same time, you can hit him.
You know, Miller's having a rough day with Gaw, but I think that that sideline, Pat, if he broke it into the post, it'd be totally wide open.
Right, but again, I don't know why the Newsom's not throwing him short passes. He's definitely throwing him deep patterns, and they're not open. He's got to throw short, get the backs to come up, and then throw long.
And of course, those deep patterns call for more pass blocking and more time for possibly holding penalties.
Right.
So that's a automatic first down for the Canucks. As the secondary of the Bears are having a frightful time here in the first half with 4:22 to go.
When you're a defensive back, you cannot play the wide receiver. You have to play the ball.
Let's see if they go underneath this time, Joe. Newsom again with the football. Good pass rush. Fires underneath to Kreisen. And he has the football. Fumbles out of bounds.
That's what he has to do. He has to start doing that, throwing them short passes. They're open. Keep doing it until they get the defensive backs to come up. Once they start coming up, making a tackle, then their wide receivers will be wide open.
Well, if a play is working, you stay with it until they stop it, right?
That's true.
Second and about 9 for North Plainfield. Only picked up a yard or so on the play, but it could be shades of things to come. Newsom, who scored one time in the ball game, takes the ball, rolls out, fires outside. That's Mills. Beautiful play underneath again, and he has the first down.
That was a beautiful...
And a penalty right at the end of that play.
Right.
That could be unsportsmanlike conduct to Miller again. Number 40 was on the play.
He's having a rough day.
If I was a coach, I'd have to switch up on him with another player, Joe.
I would, just to bring him over and calm him down, because I think he's getting all riled up because the passes are being completed, and he's trying to take it out on the receivers, and that's only hurting his own team by getting these penalties.
That had to be unsportsmanlike conduct, which it is. Personal foul. And they're down on the 7-yard line.
Last week, the wide receivers and the backs were dropping Newsom's ball. This week, they're not dropping him. They're catching him. I think they must have had practice all week to do this.
Okay, so they're trying to drive for the 3rd touchdown of the game. Newsom pitches out to McComb. He has a horde of blockers in front of him, and he runs past Fresca and goes out of bounds.
Right.
He should have used that fullback that time, Joe.
That's right. He should have cut right off of his back, and he would have got a couple yards upfield. But what he did is he strung out the play to the sidelines, let the defensive players recover, and just run them out of bounds.
Ran out of real estate.
Right. And that was a short side of the field, too.
2nd and 6 for the Canucks with 3:48 in the first half. I formation. Fake handoff. Newsom takes the ball, drives ahead to about the goal line.
Right, that was poor tackling on the Kenilworth team. They had him on the line of scrimmage. They hand tackled him, and you cannot do that with a good runner.
Well, that was a misdirection. Beautiful play, but he's going to the right and came back to the left.
Right, he faked to the man going to the right side. He kept the ball, rolled out, went off tackle. 2 men had a chance to tackle him. They hand tackled, and being a good runner, you cannot hand tackle these ball players.
Well, we see the defense of the Bears down deep in their own territory and about the 3-yard line. They're being manhandled at will, it seems, by North Plainfield, a smaller team.
Yeah, well, I think the quickness is bothering him.
Newsom hands, falls down. McComb had the ball, and of course, the footing could have held that one. Seems like he slid to the turf as he was making the handoff.
Right, it was just lucky that the ball carrier covered the ball. He got it in front of him enough so the ball carrier could get it into his waist and hold on to it.
All right, 4th down, Joe. You're the coach. Give me the call.
They're doing good running to the outside. Run to the outside.
Let's see what happens. Newsom goes to the outside, looks for a receiver, cuts up the gut himself, hit at the goal line, and scores!
Right. That was the play.
Tony Saragoza, the big defensive tackle, tried to make the hit, but Newsom slid off him, and his momentum drove him into the end zone.
Sure, what happened is he went to the outside. As soon as the pursuing tacklers went to the outside, he cut back and scored the touchdown. Again, Newsom showing his ability to be a tremendous ball player.
Wait, let's see what happens here. There must have been a penalty because they're moving it back. The score has not changed. And it's holding. Of all times to hold, that was not one of them.
Right. That hurt him.
I didn't see the flag originally when it played. It must have been late.
Right. Now he's going to have to go to the pass.
So a touchdown taken off the boards. That really hurt the Canucks, even though they're ahead.
But psychological,
yes,
they scored the touchdown.
Yes.
And they know it.
He'll have to go to the air, Newsom. Mills has the football. He's looking to pass to Newsom. Being pressured, still trying. He throws the football. It's up for grabs. And it's intercepted and dropped in the end zone.
Well, we have a flag there.
Flag on the play. Number 27, Bill Barbario,
It was probably
had the football and dropped it. Well, he tried to force that ball in there and come up with 6. Penalty on the play.
It wasn't a bad play, but I think
against North Plainfield.
The back just held the ball a little bit too long, let the defensive coverage catch up to the receiver, and that's what happened.
There was 2 penalties on that play against the Bears, clipping or hitting below the waist there, and of course against North Plainfield, someone was downfield that shouldn't have been. And so the Bears take over, where North Plainfield could be on the board once again. As you say, it was a psychological touchdown.
Right. And when they go into the dressing room, they'll be thinking that they did score that touchdown.
So what'd you do if you're the Bears now with about a little over 2 minutes to go in the first half?
Well, they have
Play it
to
safe?
Well, they have to sustain some kind of an offense. They haven't done it yet.
Well, you got two wideouts. They're looking to possibly go to the air here. Sokol has the football, drives ahead.
Again,
Good hit by Newsom.
right. That time he should have had that ball. That ball was thrown in front of him. I think he took his eyes off the ball for a second, but Newsom was right there again.
2:19 to go before halftime. Canucks playing a soft secondary. Almost a fumble again by Sokol. Throws the bomb. Triple coverage out there. The man has the football. That's Costa. Unbelievable. And he's knocked out of bounds.
That was a great catch because he was triple covered.
It's at the 40-yard line.
The ball was thrown up, right, for grabs. He just took it away from the two defenders.
And Mills saved a touchdown on that play. Good reaction by the offense, Costa. We're just talking about him playing quarterback. He's a tremendous wide receiver. We can see that.
Yeah. He almost fumbled the ball, too.
That was about a 41-yard pass by Sokol. He showed us a good arm on that play.
Yeah, the ball was thrown high, the way the ball should be thrown for a wide receiver. It was undershot. What happened is the wide receiver came back, and it was still triple coverage, and he still took it away from the three defenders. That
So
was a
in
good
just
effort.
about the 40-yard line of the Canucks, the Bears are finally in their best field position of the game. Everybody's moving in all different directions. Sokol has the football again, fires deep. Man is out there. Costa, and broken up by Dave Gall.
Boy, that was a tremendous recovery by Gall. He came across and he batted the ball away. The ball was there, though.
Sokol showing us a live arm.
The exchange is still erratic in there.
Yeah, as he was going back to pass, he was fumbling with the football.
Right. But he's a good ball player because he never once stopped doing what he was supposed to do.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Bears, trying to get on the scoreboard before the half closes. The team seems to be fired up as Costa's trying to employ his teammates on. Sokol fumbles the snap again, pitches out to his man, going to throw a pass, throws it, and it's incomplete.
Again, you know who made the tackle? Newsom.
McSorley tried to throw the pass, and of course it was a wounded duck, and it went down. He's having a bad ball game today, McSorley.
Right. Newsom was again coming in, and he made him force the ball by making a tackle.
I don't think they'd be trying too many things tricky now. They should be sticking to basics.
I think the reason why he's throwing deep, the wind had died down there for about 4 or 5 minutes, and he's figuring he can throw that deep pass.
He should throw it, though. It seems that his backs are lacking confidence in that direction when they throw it. So Sokol on 3rd down, takes the ball, pops the ball over the middle, and it's stripped by McComb. Just a short pass.
Right,
off
again the ball
shoulder
was
pads.
thrown a little bit behind him instead of in front of him, and he couldn't make the reception.
And so 4th down comes up, and what would you do now? Try to get the 1st down, obviously.
Well, naturally, the first down, if you get the first down, then you got 4 more plays to try to score before the halftime.
He could cross him up and go deep, but we'll be looking for that 1st down play, about 10 yards to the sticks. McSorley and Miller, the deep backs in the I formation. They split now. Man in the slot, that's Costa. Sokol has the football, and he's sacked!
Oh, that was
Looked like he was going to make a pitch on that play, McSorley, but the defense was wise to the call.
right. They came in, they didn't give him a chance to do anything. They were across the line as soon as he got the ball.
By number 62, Chris Johnson, and number 41, Bill Marotti.
Chris Johnson was in on that sack. Nice penetration by the North Plainfield defense.
Right. They were in the backfield before he knew what happened.
North Plainfield.
And so with 1:42 on the clock, they can get on the board again, North Plainfield.
They have plenty of time.
They go shotgun. Costa goes way deep at safety. And he's sacked. Newsom is sacked that time by the whole front of the line of the Bears.
Right. I don't know whether or not that was a
Tony Saragoza playing a good ball game.
Quarterback draw or what it was.
Well, he might have panicked for just a second and just took the sack.
Well,
At any rate, it's second and long.
Right. No sense in fumbling the ball down here. If there wasn't a man open, that's what he should have done.
So they break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. Number 50, Bob Barry over the ball at center, taking the shotgun. There's Newsom, fires outside to Mills. Mills has good hands, and he catches the ball out of bounds.
Again, that Mills is open almost every time.
Keep going to him.
Keep going to him until they stop him.
Didn't pick up the first down. It'll be third and short. For the Canucks, 49 seconds to go in the first half. Bands forming in the end zones for our halftime festivities.
Now the wind's picked up again.
Newsom looking to throw, being pressured by the big man. Spins off his man and goes down. He was flushed out of the pocket that time by 75 Rubinetti, the 295-pound tackle.
Right, he's pretty fast. Once he gets past that line of scrimmage, he gets a little momentum up, and he flushed Newsom out of the pocket. Well, they know he's going to pass, and it's pretty tough for an offensive line to block when a defensive line when they know you're going to pass.
And so we'll see what happens on fourth down. Probably a punting situation. And Mills, the punter, goes back about 10 yards from the center. Running back deep, McSorley and Costa. High snap, a rush, he gets the ball off. Good kick.
Good punt.
Costa has the football.
Good coverage.
But he pulls away. Costa down the sidelines, great run. And he's finally brought down.
Right, they had good coverage downfield.
Chris Johnson in on a hit.
Poor tackling. The man got another 15 yards on him. He almost broke it loose.
He did that all on his own, Costa did.
Right, because he was stopped in the 25-yard, 30-yard line. They didn't wrap their arms around him and pull him down, and he broke loose.
Surprised you a bit with his individual running, Joe.
Yes, I was surprised.
So we have a timeout here with Brearley with about 15 seconds to go and the clock. Just a little insight here, some trivia here of some of the big scoring plays or long scoring plays this year. Of course, the longest TD run from scrimmage this year was made by Wardlaw Hartledge, 87 yards, Gills. The longest touchdown play this year was from Barry to Polanis from Somerville, 95 yards. The longest punt return for a touchdown this year was from Motley from Piscataway, 80 yards. And also Miller from Somerville, 80 yards. The longest interception return for a touchdown, DeGrazia from Dunellen, 100 yards. The longest field goal was 43 yards by Hillsborough. That was Strafer. The longest kickoff return for a touchdown this year was Edgerton of Plainfield, a great back, one of the best safeties in the state, with 98 yards. And so the Brearley Bears of Kenilworth start the attack first down with just about 15 seconds. He has to air it out now. Sokol, fine quarterback, going back to pass, pressured, and he's sacked and brought down.
Beautiful pressure.
That was Kreisen. Defensive end on a hit.
Right. What happened is their defensive tackle could not stop him. The defensive end rolled around. The quarterback rolled to the left, and they never saw the man coming.
And that's the end of the first half here at North Plainfield High School as the clock has run out. The score at halftime, North Plainfield Canucks 14, the Brearley Bears of Kenilworth nothing. And Joe, let's sum up this first half if we can. We're getting all kind of activity here in the booth.
Yes, everybody's running out to get some coffee or something because it's a little chilly today. I think that the Kenilworth team is going to have some kind of sustained drive in the second half. The score is only 14-0. They can come back. They've got a whole half.
They seem to have some skill. Of course, Costa showed us a lot of speed at receiver and of also running back.
Right.
And Sokol showed us a good arm.
I think all the turnovers in the first half is what is hurting them. They've made a turnover and the Canucks scored. And they're going to have to stop doing that and find out what's happening inside that interior lineman or the backs, or why they're not getting the ball.
And so this is Dennis Miller along with Joe Key from Store Cable Communication saying join us in just a moment as we start the second half. 14-0 here at North Plainfield. North Plainfield Canucks on top of Brearley. Miller back at North Plainfield High School with head coach of the New Jersey Oaks, Joe Key. The score 14-0, North Plainfield over Brearley. We'll have the halftime stats here. The Canucks have 14 points. They ran 29 offensive plays. They were 6 for 13 in passing for 29 yards, rushing 64 yards. 8 first downs, and were penalized 4 for 50 yards. For Brearley, they didn't score in the first half. They had 21 offensive plays. They were 2-9 passing for 61 yards, 17 yards rushing, and they fumbled 3 times. They had 4 first downs, and they had were penalized 5 yards in penalty. All set to go, and Mills approaches the football. Coming down to McSorley. McSorley has the football at the 5, starts upfield, drives ahead, and is brought down on about the 26-yard line.
Again, that was good coverage by the Canucks. We'll see the second half if the Canucks can continue their domination of this game.
Well, we'll see what happens. They have relatively good field position starting this second half. I like to say that number 10 is Dan Sims and not Sokol, like I was saying the first half. We'll get into that in just a moment. Sims hands off and hit hard.
Again,
extremely hard that time.
Again, it looks like
McSorley.
It looks like the Canucks are controlling the line of scrimmage again.
Now, on our program here, we look down, we see Ken Sokol in the 10th grade is the quarterback. Our public address announcer had it, and we had it here at Store Cable, but Dan Sims is the quarterback. It seems that he was suspended from the football team, and he was just reinserted a week ago, so his name is not even listed. So we're sorry for the whole first half saying it was Sokol. We're sorry to Mr. Sims, and there you are, number 10, Dan Sims. Anyway, a fine quarterback. Movement on the defensive front for North Plainfield. Probably encroachment. Encroachment penalty, that'll move him back 5 yards. Glenn Deppert, number 62, having a fine ball game at linebacker for North Plainfield, Joe.
Yes, he's a very aggressive ball player. Sometimes he moves, which make the linemen move a little bit because he's so aggressive. They're keying on their linemen, which way the linemen are moving.
And so Sims with the live arm splits his receivers out wide to the right. Costa in the slot. Handoff inside. And McSorley that time picked up good yardage for the first down.
Right, that was just a straight. What they did is they faked it to the one back. He turned completely around, handed to the other back, and the linebackers went for the first back going through the line, and the man was able to go right through the hole.
Ball on the 40-yard line, first down for the Bears, trying to get back on the scoreboard. So Sims, split backfield. Handoff inside to Miller. Picks up a yard on the play before Newsom and McDade and Deppert brought him down.
What they're doing is the quarterback is rotating the opposite way of the handoff. They're trying to get the linebackers to commit themselves. Once they commit themselves, then they're trying to hand off to the opposite side. But that time it didn't work. The defensive end came across and made the tackle.
Sets up 2nd and 9. Wide outs, right and left. Sims has a football. Fumbles the football. And North Plainfield recovers. That's McDade. McDade driving to the end zone. Kitts. That was a football touchdown.
That was a beautiful.
That was Jeff Getz. Thought it was 76. It was 78.
That was a beautiful lateral.
Lateral number 83.
Mike Murray with the lateral had presence of mind and went into the end zone.
Right. Again, what happened is the defensive lineman came across the line. They forced the play. The play was designed for a flip in the backfield. He went to flip it. They were right in on him. They made him fumble. The ball bounced. They picked it up, and they went in for the touchdown.
Well, they're going to go for the extra point. Mike Murray will attempt it. Newsom will hold. Ball is down. It's kicked it. It's high in the air. And it's good. Just over the crossbar. It had the distance, Joe.
Right. That ball was kicked into the wind. He kicked it. The wind stopped it in midair, but it came down. He had enough of distance for it even to be blown backwards to go over the goalpost.
And so that fumble, they had a fake counter play, and I thought that it was McDade, but it was a number 78 that flashed in there. Jeff Getz picked the ball up, lateral off to Murray, and he was off to the races.
Right.
And it's 21-0.
Open the door, please.
This Canuck team is surprising me. They have presence of mind. That I think it's the coaching. The coaching has really got this team up for this game.
They're certainly fired up. And Gary Mills, once again, has been making a habit of it, will kick off.
It looked like they're trying a new wrinkle with the quarterback rotating the opposite way, but it backfired them on the last play.
As we look at up at the scoreboard, 21-0. North Plainfield hasn't been in this position too many times this year, Joe.
No, I think as the season's progressing, the coaching staff is showing that they're starting to get his philosophy.
And so a referee indicates, let's go, and Mills kicks the football. Coming down to McSorley. Fumbles the football again, picks it up. Tries to find an opening, is pulled down by Getz, who made that sensational play before. He's still fired up.
Beautiful. They're covering the ball. They're doing everything right. Kenilworth's not doing everything right. Everything's falling as right cards for the offensive team of the Canucks.
Well, as we were talking in halftime, you said that Immaculata game could have taken a lot of starts out of Kenilworth.
I think by losing that game by a score, by a big
28-0.
Right. It puts a team down. It's a tough situation to bring a team back after a loss like that. Which, on the other hand, the Canucks had a fiery game. They could have won that game. A few dropped passes, and it was only a matter of inches that they could have won that game. They dominated it on offense.
Number 40, Mark Dubia, was the injured ball player. Seems to be all right. Little knee problem, but he's working it out and walking off to the sidelines.
The only thing that the Kenilworth team can do is have a big play to try to bring this team up.
We'll watch with first down for the Bears. Sims at quarterback. Drops straight back to pass, pressured, and down he goes.
Again, it's the pressure of the Canucks.
Bill Marotti made the big hit for the
Right.
Canucks.
What they're doing is they know that the Kenilworth team has to pass, so they're sending their linebackers, and the quarterback doesn't have time enough to throw the ball.
The offensive line just not picking up those linebackers, Joe.
No, I mean, the Canucks are really fired up now. I think they're having a tough enough job with the linemen.
They huddle up in their end zone and break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. They have two wideouts. Movement, encroachment by Getz, 78. But of course, North Plainfield's clapping, so it could be on offense. They could have moved, and that's what happened as they moved back from it.
Yes, what happened is the defensive end moved, and what happened is the offensive man picked his arm up off the ground. Automatically, that's offsides. You can go into the neutral zone and get back in time, but if that offensive lineman picks up his arm or makes any movement, that's offsides on his part.
So second in a bunch for the Bears. Sims, quick pop pass, overthrown.
Again, the quarterback is not throwing the ball with any authority. It looks like he's
hesitating, right.
Right.
Nick Chango was the intended receiver that time. 3rd and 24 for the Bears. Now we may see an all-out rush with 3rd and 24.
Yes, I would. I would send everybody.
7:51 remaining in the third quarter. 21-0. North Plainfield over the Bears of Kenilworth. And so Sims has everybody split out as we look to the pass. Fumbles the football. Let's see what happens.
Looks like they recovered the 71 recovered.
That time
They recovered their own football.
That time it looked like the quarterback was standing there. He never got possession of the ball.
Tony Saruga recovered
it. Centered the ball. It looked like it might have hit his tips of his fingers, and he just dropped the ball.
You know, the only one really playing an outstanding game for the Bears is Tony Saruga, who recovered that fumble just then. He's a good stalwart on defense as well as offense.
Yeah, in this game, the size means nothing.
And so Costa is back at the last line of the end zone. There's a rush, almost blocked. Flag on a play. Dave Gaw has a football, just hands it to the referee. We'll see what happens.
That ball was very close from being blocked. Very close.
Offside against North Plainfield. That'll move the ball up a little bit. You know, he was on the last line of his end zone. He didn't have too much real estate there to operate.
That's why the ball was almost blocked. Now he'll have a little bit more room. He's kicking with the wind. He might be able to get a good booming kick out of there.
Well, we'll watch for Costa. We'll see what happens. Here's the snap. Moves forward. One man almost blocks it again. Move down to Gaw. Gaw has the football. Tries to turn the corner to the sideline. Does turn the corner and is knocked out of bounds. Number 70, Mark Yates, almost blocked that kick once again.
Right, he was very close from blocking that ball.
And so the Canucks will start in good field position. Ball is on the 35-yard line.
When that goal gets his hands on the ball, he'll move.
He can turn the corner.
He can turn the corner. He's been getting yardage, which he should have been stopped with, and he's getting downfield.
And so Newsom, been playing an outstanding ball game, is at quarterback, sends Meekum in motion. Hands off to Fruska. He got the defense looking outside and gave it to his fullback, Joe.
Right. What they're doing again is Newsom's going to work that inside a little bit to get those linebackers looking to the inside. Then they're going to run to the outside because those big men inside are very hard to move.
Pick up about 1 on the play, 2nd down and 9. Full backfield, move into the eye as usual. Ball on the wing. Hand off to Mills. Mills tried to turn the corner, gets a couple yards, and he's knocked out of bounds by 5 or 6. A penalty on the play. Looked like unsportsmanlike conduct. They pushed him out of the play and tried to tackle him about 3 yards
that's
on the sidelines.
That's a senseless penalty. Once a man is out of bounds, he's out of bounds. You shouldn't even touch him. Let him,
There could have been Tony Costa over there, 24, moving back to the defensive huddle.
Well, I think that the Kenilworth team is so upset now, and I don't think they mean to hit him outside, but they're so upset.
They're taking out their frustration.
They're frustrated, and they're trying to do something right.
On the 15-yard line, sets up a 1st down. So again, in scoring position are the Canucks, already leading in the ball game, 21-0 with 6:10 in the 3rd quarter. Storer Cable Communications bringing you the action. Hand off inside again to Fruska.
That time they opened up the hole. The fake was a good fake because Newsom, after he handed the ball, he kept going to the outside. It held the linebackers for a split second, and he was able to get another couple of yards up the middle.
Well, they're setting up those outside plays with those inside handoffs, Joe. We could look for something outside soon.
They're trying to set up those linebackers.
Let's see what happens. Handoff to McComb. Takes about 5 or 6 people into the line. Shows some good power.
Again, that went off tackle. The first play was off guard. This time was off tackle. He's working his way outside.
So it'll be 3rd and about 2. One, a long one, almost 2, for the Canucks. Possibly another inside handoff, Joe.
I don't know. They have a lot of room on the right side. Oh,
There's a pitch out to Gaw. Tries to take his man. Picks up the first down.
Yeah.
Takes a violent hit out of bounds by Dennis Miller. Who else?
Every time you say Dennis Miller, I look at you twice.
Well, I don't want to knock Mr. Miller, but that was probably one of the first good plays he's made today.
Yes, he had a couple of bad penalties in this game.
At any rate, a first down for the Canucks deep inside the Bear territory, about the 4-yard line.
North Plainfield.
We'll see what happens. Man in motion, McComb.
Fresco.
Hand off to Fresco. He drives to the goal line. No, there's a touchdown signal by the referee. Touchdown for Fresco. Just right up the gut.
Right. They were looking to the outside, and he handed off inside. They went right over the center. It was a good block in there, and he kept driving his feet, and he scored the touchdown.
And the score rises to 27 points for the Canucks, and nothing is yet for the Bears. Again, the extra point conversion coming up. Number 83, Mike Murray.
Again, it's a team of quickness against brawn.
Ball is up, and it's good again. Second in a row by Murray.
Good. That was a good kick. That time the wind died down a little bit. He got a little bit more into the ball, and he kicked it right through the uprights.
So with 4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter, North Plainfield 28, Brearley or Kenilworth High School 0.
The second half that they went down into the dressing room, the Canucks, and they changed their offense a little bit. Just enough to put the Kenilworth team off. They're doing the inside runs. They're going inside. They're going off tackle. They're not running as much to the outside. I think the Kenilworth team was down trying to defense against the outside, and the coach outwitted them.
We see Dennis Miller and McSorley back in the safety position for the Bears of Kenilworth. Mills once again doing the kicking. Approaches the football. Line drive kick coming down at about the 5-yard line. McSorley picks the football up and drives straight upfield. Tries to find a hole and is brought down. Brought down by number 70, Mark Yates. And so they'll try again to get on the scoreboard.
That was a good run back.
Quickly, the Mountain Valley Conference standings. Ridge is leading at 4-0, followed by New Providence 3-0-1. Berkeley Heights third place 2-2-1, followed by Middlesex 1-3-1, North Plainfield 1-3-1, and Springfield 1-4. We'll give you the Valley Division in just a moment. Bears of Kenilworth have 2 men split out wide to the right. 1 man in a slot. Dropping straight back to pass. The Sims being pressured. Fired ball is tipped, almost intercepted by Newsom. There's that name again.
Again, the pressure. The pressure's there.
33 New Fresco.
33 Fresco. Second and 10.
Now the Valley Division, Immaculata is leading at 3-0, followed by Boundbrook 2-1, Roselle Park 2-2, Kenilworth 2-2, and Manville is on the bottom at 0-4. The Bears huddled up on the 15-yard line, trying to skirt the odds here. It's 28-0 in favor of their opponent, which is North Plainfield.
You're wide on that side, 2 wide over here.
Set. Mark.
Sims almost moved before the ball was snapped. Now goes back to pass, being pressured by McDade. And down he goes. McDade flushed him out, and the rest of the defense came up with the play.
The defense is playing a superb game. They're inspired. As the score goes up, they look more aggressive. Unless the Kenilworth team is starting to hold back a little bit.
3rd and 15.
Well, we'll see what happens. It looks like the offensive line could be quitting a bit.
It looks that way. I mean, you know, when a team loses by a big score, and then you come back again, and you're down 28-0, it's heartening. So size doesn't always mean everything.
3rd and long for the Bears. Definite passing situation. One man in the slot, one man split out wide to the right. Handoff inside. Good run by McSorley. Finally, that was the best play of the game for McSorley that time.
And that Newsom came up. He didn't get a good tackle on him, but he got his arm out there and he tripped him, and he got him down.
And so that was close to the first down. It is now 4th down and about 3. And would you go for it now?
Well, I'd have to. By losing, you know, 28-0.
You got to get something
to
going.
lose. You have to put something on the board.
We'll see if they go power inside or come out to the outside.
Move over.
Sims, the phantom quarterback in the first half, is operating. Has his team set. Hands off inside and piling ahead, picking up the first down, I believe,
That looks close.
is McSorley.
Yeah, that was a straight dive. They gave it to the big back, and he went right off tackle, following his big offensive lineman.
And so hopefully that first down will pick up the Bears just a bit. Trailing 28-0 as they move toward that scoreboard isn't a good sight. It's an awesome sight. Hopefully they can get 6 or 7 on the board. Before last week's game against Immaculata, they won 3 in a row, Joe.
Yeah, they're a big team, and I think that they overpowered most of the teams. But I think this Canuck team came here to play ball.
Sims fires. Man is out there. He has the football. Number 87, Frank Kurovic. And of course, he showed a live arm, and the boy does have a good arm.
Right.
Sims.
What's happening in prior to this? They haven't been mixing up the plays as much. Now they're starting to mix them up. They're starting to get the Canucks thinking a little bit, and now they can move the ball. Because if you pass, you're not going to fool anybody.
All right, first down for the Bears. Sims with a man in motion, dropping straight back to pass. Now he's pressured. His arm is hit. The ball's a wounded duck. A man is out there, tipped away at the last second. That was Frank Kurovic that time again, and the ball just died on him with the rush.
Right, and he didn't get anything on the ball because he had to rush the ball. He threw on his back foot, which is no-no for a quarterback, but he got rid of the ball. They had double coverage, and they went into triple coverage over there.
Setting up a 2nd and 10 for the Bears. Huddled up on the 45-yard line. They break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage. Trying to get something offensively going to get on that scoreboard. Maybe propel some touchdowns. Sims has the football, goes himself, and is pounded to the turf by Newsom.
Newsom
read that play right off the snap, Joe.
Right, he read that play. He came up like a cornerback should, and he was right in on the play.
113 and 112 and counting down in the third quarter. 28 zip. North Plainfield over the Bears of Kenilworth.
That was a great play because the linebackers forced the man to the outside. They took away the blockers, and it was only man for man, and Newsom made the tackle.
So a 3rd down play for the Bears. Sims, an obvious passing situation. Long count. Takes the ball, goes straight back to pass, sets up, fires deep into double coverage. And McSorley couldn't come up with the football. It was there, but he just didn't time his leap.
Right. He was coming down when the ball got to him. If he was up at the time, he probably could have caught it, but he was coming down. I think one of the defenders' hands got in his way, and he lost track of the ball.
And so the Bears, once again, on 4th down, have to go for it. Trailing by this wide margin, they have 2 wideouts.
Swatch. Swatch.
Where's the football? As the ball snapped, and the quarterback didn't get it. Kenilworth pointing to North Plainfield, North Plainfield pointing toward Kenilworth, and we'll wait for the referee to solve this matter. And of course, it was against the Kenilworth because it was a delayed snap. Of course, the quarterback never had the football.
Never had the ball. I think there was contact before the ball was even hiked.
19. Brearley.
And so with 4th and 19, it looks like they could be going to a punt because it looks like their special teams came in. And it is, as Costa's going back in punt formation. Running back in single safety for the Canucks is Newsom. Gets the ball away, it's shanked off the side of his foot. Not a particularly good kick, and rolls out of bounds. Up around the 35-yard line, 40-yard line.
Now, Kenilworth has to stop the Canucks on this drive to get any kind of momentum to score. Now, I think the Kenilworth team just wants to score. They don't want to get shut out.
Well, it's a matter of pride now. That's what it came down to. And of course, North Plainfield hasn't been in this position too many times this year, and they're really fired up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they looked 100% better than they did last week. They're not dropping
And they were good
the
last
ball,
week, yeah.
And they had a tremendous defensive game last week.
McCone tries to turn the corner, and he does. He picks up about 3 or 4 before he's knocked back. He's still going, and still going.
Boy, that's
Third effort on that play.
Third effort. That was tremendous. He got hit 3 times, which he should have been stopped.
One man he ran over is still down on the turf. We can't get his number. Time is called. Chris Davey in on the hit finally, but the first man to make contact is still down, face down in the middle of the field. Can't get his number at the moment.
Dennis, I think the Canucks travel to South Plainfield next week. I think that's the end of their rivalry.
Well, tell us about that rivalry. It goes back a long way. You live in South Plainfield, Joe.
I think that it's been for 15 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is the last game.
This is the last game of the rivalry. Both teams should be up for this game. I think it should be a tremendous game.
Throw the records out?
Throw the records out. Anything can happen on a Thanksgiving Day game.
And a huge crowd is anticipated, of course.
Yes, every Thanksgiving Day game they have a huge crowd, and the people that don't usually go to these games will go to this game because it's a end of the rivalry, and you'll have.
And of course, Mills had the football, and it was bottled up at the line.
Right. You'll have lots of alumni from both sections of North Plainfield and South Plainfield going to that game.
13 seconds to go in the quarter, and one of the coaches, of course, is really going crazy in the other room. And, of course, the offense didn't react that time as it was supposed to. At any rate, there was a penalty against North Plainfield, moving them way, way back. And we'll pick it up. Holding. That's killed a couple of their drives today, Joe. Those holding penalties. The clock is winding down with about 6 seconds to go. We'll see if they can even get this play off. 3 seconds. 2. He does get it off. Hands off to Frusco, who breaks ahead.
Beautiful hold.
Good yardage, but I don't think he picked the first down up, but close to it.
Right. It looked like they trapped the inside tackle, and they ran right off tackle. Came right up the seam with that play.
So that's the end of the third quarter here at North Plainfield, with the score ballooning up to 28 points for the Canucks of North Plainfield. Nothing as yet for Brearley or Kenilworth High School. And Joe, right before we get into a little consultation, I could say that only 8 players in the state history have scored more than 200 or more points in one season. And I have a list of these players right here before we get into the leaders this year. Back in 1911, believe it or not, Dean Pearson of Princeton had 208 points. 1950, John Giantoni of Netcon was 246. Howie Lusby of DuPont, 1961, with 201. 1963, Pete Stillabaugh of Madison Borough, 206. 1975, Dennis Sheldon of Hightstown, 214. 1976, Ted Blackwell of Rutgers fame, you know him, of New Providence, 254 points. And Harold Butch Woolfolk of the Giants, now of Westfield, 206 points. And finally, 1980, Willie Drury of North Burlington, 208 points. Quite a group there, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, 200 yards, that's
200
quite
points
an
in a season.
accomplishment, right?
North Plainfield has a football, third down. Newsom, fake, play action pass, fires out there, man's out there. McComb has the football, drives down the sidelines, out of bounds.
Beautiful
Tackled by Costa. There was your back out of the backfield, but he went deep that time, Joe.
Right, but what happened on this is after the quarter changed, the Canucks had the wind behind them, and he could throw that long bomb. They've been throwing a couple of short passes to the back. What happened is the defensive back covered him short, and he got a step on the defensive back, and he caught the pass. The pass was right on the money.
Down in the 18-yard line, of course, it was only a third in inches, so of course everybody was bottled up inside.
Yeah, they were looking for that run inside.
And so, knocking at the door again, the Canucks. Newsom hands off to Fresco, driving ahead. Picks up good yard. It's about 6 on the play.
Right. Now, it looks to me that they're going at will now. I think the Kenilworth team has lost
Raising
heart.
the white flag, so to speak.
Right. I think they lost heart right now, and they're upset, and they're not doing anything fundamentally playing football.
Well, it could be a change in personnel now. They should have it if the players are feeling like that. There goes Newsom, looking for yardage, drives ahead. Keeps it himself. Tackled by that big man again. John
Again,
Rubinetti.
again, they're doing anything at will now.
Blustery day here at North Plainfield. Temperatures around 41, 42 degrees.
I think the game plan for this game was tremendous. He knew what he wanted to do, and he did it.
That's Bob Abadi, the head coach of North Plainfield. Hand off to McComb. Has the football, and he's really bottled up. Number 56, Chris Davey.
Right, the defensive end read that. He didn't let the blocker block him inside, and that's why he was tackled.
Second and about 4 for the North Plainfield Canucks.
I think the temperature's going down.
Temperature going down already.
Yeah, the wind didn't stop at all.
2 wideouts for North Plainfield. Gaw in the slot is Mills. Man in motion, McComb. Fresco again drives inside, and he's bottled up once again.
Yeah, there was nothing that time.
Setting up a third down.
They didn't move those big men out of the middle, and you cannot run that middle without taking those men out of the line of scrimmage.
10 minutes, 9:59 and counting down in the ball game. 28-0, North Plainfield over the Kenilworth Bears. 3rd and 12. I said 3rd and short before, but it's 3rd and 12. Newsom calling over to the sidelines. And they're set to go. Wideouts to the left this time with Mills in the slot. Newsom goes shotgun, rolls out to the right, fires off the hands of his intended receiver, Gaw. To the outside shoulder that time. Couldn't get the football, Joe.
Yeah, it was just a little bit low. The receiver had to go down. I think when he hit his knees on the ground to catch the ball, he just didn't have enough to hold on to it.
And so with 4th and long, they'll probably go to the air once again, trying to get that score.
They have nothing to lose.
Ball comes right this time with Mills in the slot. Newsom goes left and drives to the flag. He's going in. Beautiful play by Newsom. He had the floor going right, and he came left.
Right. He had 2 missed tackles in there. They tried to hand tackle him. Again, you cannot hand tackle a good back, a good quarterback, or any good runner by hand tackling him. You must get your shoulder into him. He made a move on the first man. He put an arm on him, and he just ran right by him.
So the score rises to 34 points for North Plainfield and nothing for Kenilworth. Again, Murray is in to attempt a field goal. He's made 2 already today. Ball is down. It's kicked. It's high enough, deep enough, and it's good. 3 in a row for Murray.
Yeah, he's got plenty of foot.
35-0.
He's got plenty of foot.
Give us an individual scouting report on Mr. Newsom, Joe. You as a head coach.
Mr. Newsom he's an unpredictable ball player. He has running ability, he has passing ability, he has a good head on his shoulders. Whenever he gets pressured, he will throw the ball or he'll run on you. It's a tough situation to try to defense against him. He's just an all-around athlete.
We'll give you the football top 10 here in New Jersey. Of course, the Union Farmers lead at 7-0, followed by a tremendous team, Passaic, at 7-0. Number 3 is Montclair at 6-1. Clifton is 4th at 6-1. Phillipsburg is 5th at 8-0. Brick High School at 6-1. Cherokee at 7-0 at 7. Randolph 8th at 7-0. Toms River South at 9 at 6-1. And Butler 7-0. Here's the kickoff by Mills. Coming down in and out of the hands of McSorley. Skitters to the end zone and out of bounds. And, of course, they'll have it at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, just like I said before, what happened is, even on that kickoff, the ball hit his hands, right? And he just looked at the ball go instead of running after the ball. I mean, I think the momentum has gone to the Canucks. I think Kenilworth is losing heart in this game. And I think it's just pride that they're going to try to score, just to have pride.
Well, let's see if there's some different players on the field for Kenilworth. Some changes there should be, because some of the offensive team seems to have quit on them. Same set, same lineup. Miller and McSorley. Sims hands ahead to Miller. Miller goes nowhere. The whole interior wall of North Plainfield bottled him up that time, led by number 76, McDade.
Again, that defensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage. Even with the big men on Kenilworth, they're not driving the Canucks off the line of scrimmage.
Good shot of the defensive lineup for the Canucks. Kenilworth trying to get something, anything going, to get on that scoreboard, to salvage some pride this afternoon. The clock winding down at 8:44. Sims again keeps the football, drives upfield for the first down, and is knocked out of bounds. Nice keeper play by the quarterback.
Right, that time he faked the same play to the back going off tackle, and he kept the ball.
Of course, the defense of North Plainfield has to be cited. Of course, Robert Newsom is in there, Dave Gaw, Lou Frusco, Gary Mills, Glenn Deppert, Chris Johnson, Bill Pahutsky, John McDade, Jim Kreisen, Mike Murray, and Mike Flattery. Great defensive effort today, keeping the team off, the Bears off the scoreboard, and that would be a tremendous emotional lift going into next week's ball game, a shutout.
It should. The Canucks, it looks like they're starting to substitute ball players in there now.
So Sims has a football. He goes right this time, picking up good yardage, moving down the field, and is knocked down.
Right, that was the same play, but to the opposite side. He faked the back going off tackle, and he kept the ball and ran to the outside.
Paul Lineback in the ball game now, in on the hit for North Plainfield, as player changes are being made readily by North Plainfield. At any rate, still a good run.
Yeah. What the Canucks are doing, they're getting some of their juniors and sophomores, if they have sophomores out there, some playing time.
We'll give you, there's a timeout on the play, and we'll give you these county scoring leaders at this time with 7:54 remaining in the ball game. From Morris County with 94 points, we have Joe Gangemi of Randorf. Somerset County, Mark Kawawi of Immaculate of Somerville with 77. Union County, Greg Taylor, tremendous back from Linden with 74. Ocean County, 116 points by Dan McHarris of Toms River South. Essex County is 70 points by Mike Murphy of Belleville. Middlesex County, 68 points by Mike Doring of Woodbridge and Dave Ushia of Denellen. Monmouth County, 66 points, Anthony Rogers of Keyport and Frank Gorgulio of Wall. Prep Schools, 66 by Steve Weiss of Newark Academy of Livingston. And Passaic County, 126 by Greg Haywood, a tremendous back of Passaic. First down for the Bears of Kenilworth, trying to get on the scoreboard as player changes for the Canucks are readily happening in the fourth quarter. Two wideouts to the left side. Sims fumbles the football. And they recovered their own fumble.
Right, there again, we had the quarterback pulling away from the center before he got the ball, and there was a gap in there, and the ball drops straight down.
And so their offense totally out of sync for most of the game. The Bears try to keep going upfield, although the effort seems to be futile at this time, although they're in good field position, the 37-yard line of the Canucks. Sims pitches out to his man. He can't find it. Fumbles on the play and picked up by North Plainfield and down.
Again, that
Number 40, Mike Dubnia.
Again, that pitch was thrown behind the back, but the back never went for the ball. He watched it, which is a no-no. He never went for the ball. The Canucks came in. They touched the ball and recovered it.
Well, that was Darren King at tailback. Couldn't find a handle. It was his dismay. It was recovered by North Plainfield. And, of course, 7:02, 7:01, and counting down in the game. And, of course, I guess Kenilworth will be happy when the game is over.
It looks that way.
North Plainfield once again with the band going into a victory song. He fumbles a football. Newsom. New quarterback in the ball game? New quarterback, Robert Tamulo, fumbled the football. Of course, that happens when a new quarterback comes in.
Because the exchange hasn't been made that readily on the field. It's practiced on the sidelines before he goes in a game, but in game situation, the quarterback gets a little nervous. He moves a little bit too quick, and he'll drop the ball.
They have a whole host of new backs in there. Number 41, Marati, carries the football, and he's pulled down again by that big number 75, John Rubinetti, playing a good ball game.
Yes, he is.
Injury on the play down there. Looks like number 71 has been having a good ball game, Tony Saragoza, I think. It's hard to say because the players on North Plainfield are gathered around him. Can't make out the number. Looked like a 71.
He might have got the wind knocked out of him because it looked like he fell on somebody's leg.
Store Cable Communications proud to bring you this sports exclusive at North Plainfield High School. We'd also like to mention the fact that we'll be covering a host of basketball games this season.
That's what happened. He got the wind knocked out of him. He has to go out of the ball game for one play.
I'll tell you, if you were to pick out a player who was outstanding in the ball game, it was the injured player, Saragoza.
Right. I think he was a standout for the Kenilworth team today.
So Tamulo has a new set of backs in the ball game. And we'll see if the second team can get on the scoreboard.
40. Number 40, Mark Davina.
Mark Dabina had the football, just drives ahead for a couple of yards.
Yeah, it looks like they substitute almost the whole offensive line in there, too.
Well, it's free substitution, of course, with 35-0. You might as well play all of your team.
Yeah, that gives
They practice out there all week. They might as well get in the game.
Yeah, they might as well get a little playing time.
Number 34, Chris Schreier is in the game. A host of substitutions. Handoff inside and thrown down his line back, number 21.
Taking down number 78.
Kenilworth, of course, making substitutions, but really basically staying with their starters.
Yeah, I think what they're going to try to do, they're going to try to score to keep a little face in this ball game, because
Still enough time, 5 minutes.
35-0 is really bad.
35. Brearley 0.
I really think that the Kenilworth team still hasn't got over the last week's loss, and I think they came into this game thinking loss and not win.
Well, here we go. First down for Kenilworth. Just handing off now is the Kenilworth team. I guess they just want to get back to elementary basic plays. Probably practicing for next week. Seriously. Elementary plays. Stumbles and is dropped by a whole host of second stringers now getting fired up for North Plainfield.
Right. I think that we have quite a few substitutions for the Kenilworth team too.
Well, again, they're electing to go to the run, just sort of running out the clock, and I guess they don't want any more points put on the board for North Plainfield. Of course, I'd be trying to air it out a little bit, Coach.
I would try to score. I would try to say at least I scored one time in 2 games.
Well, they have 2 wide outs to the left side. Let's see what happens. Third down, third and long. Sims has the football, takes it himself, tries to go to the first down sticks, has the football, drives downfield, picks up the first down, and a nice play.
Right. It looks to me as if that's the only yardage they're getting, is the quarterback faking the handoff and going around the end.
It's good for the first down, makes it 1st and 10 for Brearley. With 3 minutes.
Well, let's pick the stars of the ball game. Of course, for North Plainfield, we'll have to go with Newsom, the quarterback and linebacker.
Newsom, 2nd week in a row.
Glenn Deppert, tremendous linebacker.
Yes, yes.
And Gary Mills had a good ball game today.
Right.
We'll be trying to talk to those individuals on our post-game report. Brown midfield is Kenilworth. Handoff inside, picking up no yardage, is number 48, of course, Darren King.
Right. These Canuck replacements are trying to show the coach that they have what it takes.
Well,
And
Kenilworth hasn't gained any yardage on the second string inside. Had to be the quarterback on the outside, sweeps.
Right.
Now's the time maybe to cross them up with a pass, and maybe they'll be open.
Sure.
And so Sims has his I formation, looks over the defense. Pitches out,
Number 1.
swinging wide, number 1, and picking up the first down, I think, is Scott Calensi.
There again, the defensive backs did not come up to stop his run to the outside, and he got yardage.
Well, they're moving on the ground. Those basic elementary plays are paying off for Kenilworth.
Right.
Maybe they'll score on the ground here. Of course, we must say it's a second string defense. Of course, we're not taking anything away from the ball players.
Yeah, that's about the 3rd first down in a row.
Yes. It's on about the 36-yard line, North Plainfield's. They have to hurry up at 1:45 to go in the ball game, trying to get on the board. Sims pitches out again, and a fumble on the play. And I believe North Plainfield recovered. And they did.
Yeah, right. That was a no-no for the back.
Fumbled.
Right. The back tried to pick it up. He should have fell on the ball. And when you have a host of defenders coming in at you, just fall on the ball, recover the ball, and take the loss.
Well, that pitch didn't work. Maybe 4 or 5 times they tried it, and they all came up with a fumble each time during the game.
Right. What they're doing is they're pitching the ball a little bit in the back of the...
9 fumbles for Kenilworth there.
Right.
9 fumbles.
You cannot win a ball game with that many fumbles.
And just running out the clock is North Plainfield at just a little bit over a minute. and all the cheerleaders are doing some dances down there on the sidelines, as we can see them on our monitor as the band plays the victory march and victory song.
Well, I think the coach for the Canucks are trying to run out the clock. They don't want to score anymore, but you get these new ball players in there, and you can't tell them anything. They want to score. They don't care what the score is of the game.
Dennis Bach in the game for North Plainfield. Pitches out to 41 Marotti, and Marotti shows some good speed, picks up a couple yards, and the clock is showing 39 seconds and holding. So good effort today for the Canucks, Joe.
Oh, I would say
offensively and defensively.
I would say they came to this game to play. The Kenilworth team came, but I don't think they were ready to play this ball game. I think they were still thinking about last week, and they played that way.
Maybe they thought North Plainfield was going to roll over and lay dead with the record that they have, but of course they've been a good ball club over the past month.
And we're too late.
And so they're playing out the string, North Plainfield. Number 40 just carried the ball.
Right, the Canucks have been improving with every game. You could see it, their offense, their defense, and that's all coaching. The coaching comes out when, at the end of the year, when your team starts to supposed to be doing.
Well, you said you were very impressed with Bob Abada's his offensive philosophy today, mixing his plays up very well.
I think the coach had a tremendous game plan. He came into the game, he knew what he had to do, and he did it. And I think the players proved that they could do it.
3 seconds and counting down. And the game is over. The game is over. A tremendous victory here at North Plainfield. The final score in the ball game, North Plainfield 35, Kenilworth High School nothing. And some closing talks right before we go down on the field, Joe. Of course, an outstanding ball game, as we said, offensively and defensively. It must set up a good high emotion going into that South Plainfield game.
Yeah, well, I think that because the next game is going to be the end of the series of the Thanksgiving Day game, I think the Canucks are going to be really fired up for this game.
What do you say we go down on the sidelines or in the stands and get our post-game interviews, Joe?
Very good.
So that's the final score in the ball game, 35 points for North Plainfield, nothing for Kenilworth. Join us in just a moment for our post-game wrap-up.
Excuse me, why do you go to
Plainfield High School with Coach Joe Key, 35-0, the final score. North Plainfield Canucks over the Brearley or Kenilworth Bears. And standing with us, outstanding player in the ball game, one of them, we have several here with us, quarterback Robert Newsom. And Bob, what was your offensive philosophy coming into this ball game? You scored a lot of points today.
Yes, we just tried to move the ball inside and outside, and once we started moving the ball inside, the linebackers got confused, and that opened the game for us outside, and we just put the points on the board finally.
Of course, you were hitting Mills underneath a lot today. Dropped a couple passes last week. He held on this week, and he went in for a couple scores.
Yes, that helped very much on the sprint out when Gary caught the ball.
Of course, your defense with a big shutout has to be a big lift for the defense going into that South Plainfield game next week.
Yes, it is a very big lift. That's the first time our defense scored 2 touchdowns all year, and that was pretty good, I thought.
What were they doing on defense that you were taking advantage of?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you.
Well, it seems like you were making some good plays at the outside. You set them up with those inside runs with Fresca.
Yes, that's what we tried to do. And once we got the inside game moving, then I guess that opened up the outside a little bit better.
Again, a great game, Bob, and continued success in your career.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Now we'd like to bring in Gary Mills, who scored a touchdown and have also scored an extra point, 2-point conversion. Gary, of course, you held on to the football good this week. You had some good patterns underneath. What were they giving you out there?
I was just basically trying to get out into the flat, and because the linebackers were coming up for the pressure on Noose, and Noose would just dump it to me.
Now, this ball club here over the past month here, they've won 2 ball games, they tied a ball game, and they lost a ball game. Obviously a different team than when it started the year with 4 losses.
Yeah, last year we beat them, took them out of the States, and they're a good option team, but we just seem to play against.
Were you surprised with their lack of punch today? Of course, you took a lot away, but it seems like in the second half they sort of quit. Maybe your offense and defensive line was taking it to them, even though they were bigger.
Yeah, they had, I think, 5 starters that were out, too, and they didn't have any depth, and we were on the ball, and we were sticking them, and they didn't have any more depth left.
Is there any reason why you weren't trying extra points today? Of course, you came in with Murray, and he had 3 in a row.
Yeah,
He must have been kicking good in practice this week.
No, last games I'm 0 for 4 at kickoffs or extra points, and so they had a.
They try a new wrinkle, and he
Yeah.
possibly beat you out of that job. At least he didn't beat you out of the starting job.
I was working on kickoffs, so
Mhm.
I had to improve.
So what's your prediction? Let's put you on the spot here with South Plainfield. People be watching this game here today. What's your prediction going into this game?
Well, so our last game against them, and I think we're going to be really up on this, and I think because they lost last night, so we're a game ahead of them, and I think this year we'll have a good game against them.
Okay, Gar, continued success to you and best of luck against South Plainfield. Now we'd like to bring in the defensive captain here, Chris McDade, who played an outstanding ball game along with Glenn Deppert, who couldn't be with us. And Chris, of course, the defensive with the shutout today had to be a great game.
Yeah, it was, yeah, very good.
What were they doing on offense that you were thwarting? Of course, they fumbled a lot.
Yeah, they're trying to bring it straight up the middle, and everyone closed down from our defense. We pinched right into the plays. Came up lucky quite a few times.
What do you think about your team? What turned this team around over the past 3 weeks?
We were never a bad team. We just had some problems.
Just record-wise, people look in the paper, they see a team that might be 0-4, and they really don't know what's happening out there unless they went to the ball game.
No team in this conference out-hit us, but I don't think it's just mentally. We broke down. We had lapses in the game. That's where everyone else took advantage of us.
Coach, any questions?
No, I don't think you had any laps today. Boy, I'll tell you, you guys played a heck of a game today. I'll tell you were inspired. You came to play the game. They didn't. That was the difference.
Now, what do you look for in the game against South Plainfield? Of course, rivals, this is your last game ever with them on Thanksgiving Day.
We're looking to score some big points again. We're looking to score. We got pushed around the past few years. I don't think they can do it this year.
Well, best of luck to you in that particular game. And now we'd like to bring in the head coach of North Plainfield Canucks, Mr. Bob Abate. And Bob, a tremendous ball game offensively and defensively. You had a good game last week. We were here. We covered the game. Of course, it was too dark. We came back. Hopefully, we gave you some luck today.
Good. Yes, you seem to be a good luck charm. Hope you can be here all the time. No, I think finally we didn't make any mental mistakes. I think that's the only thing that's been holding us back. It's a funny season. We're only 2-5-1, but of the 5 ball clubs that we've lost to, it looks like 4 might go to the playoffs. So we haven't been playing that badly. It's just a matter of offensively in the beginning of the season we're making mistakes, but our defense has been playing fairly solid, and it's a matter of time when things are coming around. And I thought last week and this week really solidified us as a ball club.
Coach Joe Key, you brought out that he really mixed his plays up on offense.
Oh, I thought the play selection was terrific today. You kept them off balance, and like I was telling you before, that at halftime you made some adjustments, and when they came out to defense you, you had already adjusted to their defense, and they were completely bewildered.
We thought that they would try to stop the corner hard with Newsom, of course, because he has been playing well out there, and probably in tight, and we try to work on our off-tackle plays, which I think is the in-between, but for some reason we weren't blocking it well the first half. So the sweeps again were working, which was a little surprising, but I figured eventually it either was they weren't up for it or somebody was making a mistake and the adjustment would soon be made. So what we concentrated on was that off-tackle hole. So when they came out to stop that outside play, we were prepared with that off tackle. I think that was the key.
Was you surprised at the many turnovers? They had 9 fumbles in the ball game, especially at this time of year, Coach.
Yeah, run an option. It's a high-risk offense. That's one problem. And in case you get a cold day, and what we did was put pressure. We just kept going up those gaps, and Deppert and Louis Fusco, they just read those keys and came up, and we had some good games up front by McDade, of course, but we had another tackle, Jeff Getz, the boy who almost scored the touchdown.
Yeah, picked the fumble up, right.
And Marati up front were just shooting the gaps, and they tried a wide splits veer offense, and it was tough, and I thought that was the key. We really stretched them out. They had trouble with the handoff. And, of course, you saw Newsom just pop people out there. And that's, when you get hit on the option, you kind of run a little slow each time.
One final question. South Plainfield next week, the last game of a continued rivalry. What about that ball game?
Well, again, you have 2 teams going in, 2-5-1. I think they're 1-6-1. And again,
throw the records out.
Yeah, you have to. Not only that it's a rivalry, but you've got to remember, I think we're playing better than a 2-5-1 club, and he's playing in the mid-state. And week in and week out in the mid-state, you don't have a soft opponent. You know, and if you saw their score board, halftime it's close. I think last night against the Piscataway, it was only 7-0 halftime.
Against a good ball club.
Against a good ball club. And, you know, so I think the people, it's not going to be a battle of two losing teams that might get up and play a tough game. I think they're two good ball clubs that are eventually coming around, and, you know, I think it should be a good ball game.
I asked your ball players what turned this team around. Of course, you on the football field with 4 losses early in the year. Then you came on the past month with 2 or 3 victories and a tie. What turned this team around?
You know, you always say that football, you know, why do you play the game? You know, it costs so much money these days for Board of Education to run them, but, you know, the old cliche, you know, you have to have a little character. You don't play the game without character. Yeah, the kids could have quit. They're a bunch of seniors, you know. We wouldn't throw them away to the dogs and play younger kids, you know. It's their team. They would have come out of this. And I think, you know, to me anyway, we can go 0-9. The way they hung in there and played a game like this after the 8th game of the season, to me it's worthwhile. That's the whole idea of the game.
Okay, Coach, a great ball game, continued success in your career.
Thank you.
You had a great game.
Thank you very much.
And so, Joe, right before our final capsule here, we'll look at our stats for the Canucks here. Offensive plays, 47 plays. Passing yards, they were 6 for 15 for 109 yards. They had 135 yards rushing. And scoring, if you can bear with me here, we have, well, first of all, penalties offensive. It was 65 yards that were penalized in the ball game. First quarter, of course, Mills caught a 10-yard pass from Newsom, and the kick failed. Then Newsom had a 15-yard interception, a great play. And the conversion was Newsom to Mills. That was a 2-point conversion. It was 14-0 at half. Second half, we had a fumble recovery by Getz, who lateral to Murray for the touchdown, and Murray kicked. That was another tremendous play. And, of course, Fresca had a 10-yard run and a kick by Murray again. And Newsom had a 12-yard keeper play and a kick by Murray, once again forcing the final score to 35 points for the Canucks, and nothing a shutout against the Brearley Bears. And one final comment by you, Coach Key.
Well, I think, like the coach said, character. Their character came in this game, and they played with character to a bigger, a stronger team, but the character won out.
Well, it's been nice working with you, buddy.
Right.
And so here from down on the sidelines here in the stands at North Plainfield High School, this is Dennis Miller along with head coach Joe Key of the Plainfield Oaks, New Jersey Oaks, bidding you farewell with the final score once again the ball game. North Plainfield Canucks 35, the Brearley Bears of Kenilworth, nothing.